Shut up and sit down.
What's going on, guys? This is the MMA Complex. My name is Josh.
And I'm James.
And we're back. Brand new episode, episode 201, October 20th, Tuesday afternoon. It is Tuesday, right?
Yeah, Tuesday.
Okay. Yeah, how's everything going, man?
Good.
Good to be back.
Finally, the fucking weather started cooling down, which is awesome.
Yeah.
It's like an extended summer until a couple of days ago.
Like, it's sunny out here, but the weather's like cool.
It's super nice.
The breezy. It's like, it's really nice.
Yeah.
Super nice.
'Cause I hate being or feeling hot. It's the worst.
Yeah. And then what were we watching? We're going down a tough memory lane.
Yeah.
This is what season? Pulver and Pen, right?
Season 5.
Yeah, Pulver Pen.
Yeah.
You had like a bunch of Nate Diaz footage
awesome.
on there. Oh, so great.
But the cast is pretty good, huh?
Yeah, the cast was great. Like, you had Gray Maynard on the team, the roster. You had Manny Gambarian. Who else did you have? Nate Diaz.
Is that it for the big names?
I think so. Rob Emerson.
But he had cameos from Carl Preach.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you remember that the Carl versus Nick Diaz fight?
Versus Nick? Yes. I don't remember exactly how it went.
Yeah.
I know Nick won, I think, right?
Yeah, he beat him.
But I don't remember how the fight played out. Probably have to rewatch it again.
Yeah. But like, what happened to that guy?
Caro?
Whole time?
I think Caro, what happened with Caro? I think he had like a substance abuse problem. I think he was like just a partier. Right. I think
I saw pictures of him like really fat, huh? He's like really overweight now.
I think what happened was that he probably he had a big ego too. But I think he lived out here in Glendale.
Yeah.
Armenian.
Yeah.
And he, I'm sure he liked the party life, I think, from what it seemed like. And I think that's pretty much it. I think his career kind of fizzled out.
Yeah, drinking alcohol and saying bro.
Because he was one of the more legit judo practitioners to be in the UFC, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because that came from a traditional judo background that had well-rounded skills. He was probably the first to kind of set the trend.
Because I remember his fights were always like hip toss and He had some good fights.
And he had good boxing. He was a tough guy. He could take a shot.
Yeah.
He had decent cardio. He wasn't his wrestling was all right, but he made up for it with the judo.
Yeah.
The submission's okay. Like, he was just, at the time, a scrappy, well-rounded guy.
Yeah.
And one of the only Armenian fighters, really big names especially.
Yeah, to make it big,
into the UFC.
And make a name out of himself.
And probably still to this day, one of the more popular or well-rounded or well-known Armenian fighters. I mean, there's been a lot since, and he kind of set the trend. But as far as big names that like people can remember off the top of their head, like he's like the only one really.
Yeah,
Shabazian, you got Shabazian. Rondas were kind of like a pupil of Manny Gambarian.
No,
that's about it.
It's a small list.
It's a small list of like big names, like people that you could list off.
Yeah, I mean Edmund, but
Edmund. Yeah, you have coaches and you have people like that. Yeah, and there's been a few, and there's even on the lower levels, there's a lot of really good, talented like Armenian fighters that come up and all that. But yeah, as far as big names, he was one of the first, and still is one of the most recognizable names.
And then we started watching some hillbilly fights.
Yeah, and then we're watching this YouTube show kind of series. It's Street Beefs. I like that stuff. I don't know.
It's so hilarious.
It's
frustrating too.
It's frustrating because it's in the South. You could definitely tell they're in the South.
Mm-hmm.
Lower economic status is 99% of those people that are there.
Yeah.
They're in a legit like little cage fighting on like dirt or in a backyard or in some empty spot in the wooded area. It's pretty entertaining though. The skill level is not very high.
No, and it's funny because like I'm watching it and I can think in my head like, oh man, like these people are probably like bragging that they're like MMA fighters.
Most of them I think have little training or just watch a lot of UFC and
just copied it.
And copy it. Or don't even watch a lot of UFC, just mimicking what they saw on UFC before.
Yeah. That's fucking hilarious.
It's good stuff, though. You have some good fights. Every now and then you get some guys with some decent talent. Then there's another promotion in Russia I'll show you later, but those are more legit, like where I think the they actually get guys from gyms and they have them compete. And
That's
it's
crazy.
like in the open. It's like in the back of a restaurant or an alley. But like it's set up where like little bleachers and all that stuff. It's
That's
pretty cool.
man.
It's pretty cool.
That sounds pretty entertaining.
Mm.
Yeah, like I'm always down to watch some good fights.
Yeah, there's a couple of good stuff out there. Talk about fights this weekend. Good card.
Damn. Well,
Decent
top heavy.
card. Top heavy card. You had Brian Ortega and Korean Zombie.
Oh, you mean this past one? I'm sorry.
This past
I
one.
you're talking about this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
It was good, huh?
Yeah, I had it in the background until the fights I wanted to see, but
Yeah.
for the most part, they were entertaining.
Did you catch the Cyborg fight?
I totally forgot about it.
I watched, I think, majority of the card. The prelims are on YouTube, and then I streamed the main card. I caught most of the main card, and I think I ended up having to step away for the actual Cyborg fight, the one I was waiting for. So I didn't actually see the fight. I had to catch the highlights, but I think I saw what I wanted. She
Dominated. Okay. I mean, who's there to fight for Cyborg and Bellator?
Honestly, I think it's probably one of the most under promoted Cyborg fights. Like, as far as I can remember, like from Strikeforce days, UFC days,
Yeah, because
almost nobody was talking about it.
I think last week when you were previewing the fights for the weekend, you mentioned the Cyborg. I didn't even know she was fighting.
Yeah, I didn't up until like that Tuesday. I didn't know she was fighting. It was definitely it didn't get a lot of promotion.
No.
Didn't get a lot of buzz. Ortega versus Korean Zombie was also last weekend. Jonathan Martinez, Thomas Almeida, James Krause, Claudio. So I didn't see, honestly, did I see most of this card? I saw the undercard, majority of the undercard, but I did not see a lot of the main card. I really didn't. I forgot what I was doing.
Were you at home or were you out?
I don't remember. Oh no, we had some people over.
Okay.
So I kind of had to help with that and clean and all this other stuff. So by the time the main event started, I had to distance myself from everybody and go and watch it.
Okay.
But
family?
No, it was Mo came over.
Okay.
Jessica, Joe Rob.
Okay.
They all came over.
The gang.
Yeah. This was more of a social distance party.
Really?
Yeah, it was a little getting used to. I mean, they're a little bit more COVID like worried. Yeah. I mean, when I had other gatherings, we everybody's kind of sitting apart. No one's really touching or sharing the same stuff. If I get snacks, it's like chip bags or whatever. So like you don't dip in your hands into something. No one's drinking out of the same cup or any of that stuff. It's usually just beer, single individual stuff. So this one was a little bit more, everybody's kind of like wearing their mask off and on. It didn't make sense to me a lot, really, because when they're sitting down to eat, they're taking their mask off. A lot of times they forget to put it back on.
Was there a lot of people?
No.
Just Joe Rob, Jessica,
Mo, Jessica's sister, and then everybody here. Yeah. So it was, and it was cool. It was fun. It was all right, but it was a little different.
So you guys are just separated?
Yeah, they were all very COVID conscious, and it was my first COVID conscious party, which is, I mean, it should be always I'm always kind of COVID conscious, but they were like extra. They were like if you're going to a restaurant dining.
So no one shook hands,
no hugs, no shaking hands, no hugging, mask on all the time.
The whole time they're here?
Almost all the time.
Wow.
It was, I mean, they still had fun, I think, but very, very COVID, like a lot of hand sanitizer.
What was the entertaining, like what did you guys do for entertainment?
Just eat, drink, played a couple of played a game, there's like a family game of guess, I don't know, you say something and everybody has to guess what that person is really going to choose, what you wrote down type of thing. It's a fun game. I forgot what it's called. And watched the fights. I had the Zombie and Ortega fight, and then I had the Lomachenko and Garcia fight. Yeah, I think
It
so.
was Lopez, right?
Lopez. There you
Lopez.
go. Sorry, Lopez. I knew it was a Hispanic name. It was
Yeah.
like Lopez. Yeah.
It was I guess it was a good fight, but underwhelming considering the build up.
Yeah. 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 It was.
But it was a good fight, though.
It was a good fight because people were waiting for that matchup for the past couple of years.
Yeah.
I'm a Lomachenko fan, but I like Lopez too. So I was kind of sad to see him lose. I think it was pretty much dead even. It was that final round. I think that really solidified it because Lopez won that last round, and then they basically split the other rounds.
Because I actually watched that fight live only because I know
It took place right after,
Periscope.
basically almost right after.
Yeah, and I knew for the ESPN card I could always go back and watch it.
Yeah.
So I always do on a Periscope and I watched that fight because I was excited for that fight too.
But basically they're both on the same streaming service. So Ortega and Zombie. Once that finished, I switched over, and it was just let it play. So it was like maybe a fight between the between. So it was cool. But that was the weekend. That was basically what I did. Before we get to the talk about the Ortega, what did you do the weekend?
This past week, not much.
Hmm.
My family were out of town.
Okay.
So
they were out of town?
Yeah.
Where'd they go?
Mexico.
So you had the house to yourself,
Yeah.
basically?
Yeah.
Who's left at the house?
Nobody was like everybody
Everybody
just
took off?
left.
Yeah?
Everyone left. So I was able to sleep when they wanted to sleep with no
Your niece, everybody, they all took. Yeah.
Everybody left. Yeah.
Wow. And how's she gonna do on the ride over there? Like your niece?
No, they went already. It was this past weekend.
But did they like the driving the
Oh no,
distance?
my sister said that she was okay with it.
She was okay.
Yeah. Because I think it was like a
She's like what, a year old now?
3 to 4 hour drive. Yeah.
That's a long time. Yeah, they
Yeah.
get pretty restless. Like
Yeah.
after like hour and a half, they get pretty
Yeah.
restless.
She said she was good, but who knows? I wasn't there,
Yeah.
but she said she was good.
Okay.
I doubt it though, because she's a little.
They probably had to
monster.
stop a little bit and
Yeah, I think
maybe
so.
take her out of the car seat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's so crazy right now.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Where in Mexico?
Mexicali, which is like
Yeah.
like a 4 hour drive.
Yeah.
It's like 2 hours from I think TJ.
What did they go for?
A birthday party. One of my aunts.
Okay.
A birthday party.
Did they say if anybody how was it anybody masked up or was it just like
No, they were masked up.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Command's all like she's like crazy.
Yeah, because I
right
wonder
now.
how it is down there. I hear mixed. Like
Well, they
that
didn't go anywhere but their hotel, and their hotel was like 5 minutes from my aunt's house. So
Okay.
they didn't go outside that area.
Okay, so most of it's masked up down there, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I even heard that in cartel run areas or little towns that the cartels are enforcing the mask wearing.
Oh, yeah, I heard the same thing.
Yeah.
You don't wear a mask, you get shot.
Yeah, I heard yeah.
Yeah.
But then
At
I see
least-
like Cabo and all that stuff. It's almost like everybody's still partying like nobody's
It's-
business.
I
I'm sure
don't
the
know how people
workers
do
are
that
wearing.
shit.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, because you go to some parts of like even in California. I was at my girlfriend's uncle's house, and they live in a farm area.
yeah. That is
No
where,
one-
Modesto.
Yeah, Modesto. Well, the city is Salinas. I think it's called Salinas.
Yeah.
No one wears masks,
Yeah.
just the workers.
I
But
can
they
see
said that the cases over there are very low because it's a rural town.
Yeah, there's a population's very low.
think it's like-
It's in a very hot area.
Yeah,
Um,
it's like under 21,000 people. that live
Yeah.
there.
and then
And like everything's spaced out. Like you'll see one house, and then the next house will be like I don't know, like 10 miles away.
yeah, and a lot of those areas, like even like Riverside, the restrictions they loosen the restrictions mainly because of that reason. Because a lot of people are spread out. There's not a lot of people living on top of each other,
Yeah,
and it's very hot. Very as long as they wear a mask and social distance, it's
Yeah.
like whatever. But
Oh, and I watched some Korean movies. I've been watching a lot of Korean movies.
what's the name of it?
I saw one called The Chaser.
JC. Is that on
It's
Netflix?
about I don't know. It's on IFC.
Okay.
I did the 1 week subscription so I can just watch it. And
Yeah.
then I just canceled.
So I hear a lot of good. I've seen some Korean films, like action
Fucking
movies or
great.
horror movies, They have some good,
Yeah.
legit stories. Yeah.
The Devil.
Yeah, the
Something
devil,
with the
something
devil?
like that. Yeah. I heard
That
that
was
one was
a good
good.
one. That one's crazy.
Yeah,
You gotta see that one.
I heard that was good.
And then the Chaser was about basically this guy that like pays for prostitution,
Okay.
and then he ends up like just murdering the girls because he can't get it up. So he just like ties them up and fucking tortures them and then kills them. And then the girl's pimp is kind of looking for his girl,
Yeah.
and it's pretty much
Is the pimp the hero?
yeah in the
That's
movie.
funny. That's funny.
But it's fucking great.
Yeah.
I think next weekend we're gonna go to the AMC drive-in because in Fullerton and it's open now.
Okay.
I think we're gonna watch. It's called what is it called? Murderous something. It's a Korean flick. Yeah,
That's cool.
On serial killer. So
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
That's cool.
Yeah, I gotta watch the Korean movie.
I've seen one recently. It was called, I think, Villainous. It's pretty cool. It was like an action.
Yeah, the great storytelling, man.
Yeah. It makes some good movies. I hear a lot about good Korean like
Fucking
dramas,
dark as
action
fuck.
movies.
And not only that, but Korean chicks are fucking hot as hell. So
Yeah, they are.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And I hear some of the sex
Thick.
scenes. Some of their scenes, I think they have like really explicit like sex scenes and stuff.
Yeah,
like
they
that in
do.
some of the movies.
Yeah.
Let's go. What have I been watching? A lot of sci-fi, like Fifth Element, and Valerian, and
I'm starting watching. Have you seen The Boys?
yeah,
Is it good?
I saw the first like 4 or 5 episodes. It's good, but I think I don't know why I haven't gone back to it. Maybe because there's so much other stuff.
Okay, because I'm starting watching that show. Next.
It's a good show, and with the whole like, because I know the second season just came out. A lot of the promotion for that stuff is really cool, so I kind of want to get back into it though.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna start watching that show.
Yeah, that one's it's good. It's good. Another show that's on Amazon that's really good is Carnival Row.
I heard about that show.
That one's good. Yeah, that one's a pretty good one. It's kind of like a little fantasy, a little bit like 1800s. Like it's like a mix of fantasy and reality, kind of like timeline, but it's pretty good. I like it.
Cool, man.
What else? Oh, let's get back to the fights.
Yeah.
Ortega versus Zombie. We both had Zombie winning this fight. I think a lot of people did. A lot of people were counting Ortega out, rightfully so.
Yeah, long layoff.
And
he looked like great.
we didn't know how he was going to look making his return. He's fighting another striker. This time, the striker who has some power. So,
Who's always in shape because he's in the military.
And Korean Zombie is a force, man. He's a tough go for anybody.
For anybody, yeah.
So it was a challenge for Ortega, and man, Ortega showed up
Big time.
outclassed Zombie. His striking looked phenomenal. His cardio, his intelligence, his ability to mix it up.
Put a clinic on.
And I mean,
the whole time I was watching, I was like, "What the fuck's going on?" With
level
Korean Zombie?
changes. And then I think. Well, you go. What did you think attributed to that? I think Ortega. I think Ortega shut him down, and I think Zombie just didn't know what to do.
He looked flat-footed. He looked lost. He looked like I was telling you off camera that it reminded me of when someone is playing like Street Fighter and the one player goes to the restroom and the guy keeps playing.
That's exactly
it was
what
like that.
Yeah.
It was it's a one-sided beatdown, and Korean Zombie had no answer for him.
Yeah,
and the whole time I was a bit shocked.
Yeah,
I said, "What the fuck? That's crazy."
Yeah, and he's dangerous all the way up until the last.
Korean Zombies,
yeah, because even the last like minute, he was landing some good shots on Ortega.
Yeah,
and Ortega had to really be on the defense at certain points. Yeah, I think I don't know. I in the broadcast they were talking about Zombie kind of changed up his camp a little bit. Maybe that had something to do with it. A switching camp, a COVID camp, and an Ortega that just came to a new and improved Ortega.
Yeah, I mean he came in with a chip on the shoulder, I think.
Yeah. And this was like almost not the same Ortega that we saw previous.
No,
this was a different Ortega.
The 2.0 version of himself. And he looked great. Impressive.
Yeah, he looked impressive and he looked really good. And I'm not sure what's next for him. I think Volkanovski is kind of interested in Ortega
That'd be a great fight.
That would be a great one. I don't think they're going to give Max that rematch, a rematch.
It's harder to promote a fight
because if Max beats Ortega, Volkanovski doesn't want to fight Max again. You know what I mean? I think he wants Ortega.
No, the fans want to watch that again.
Yeah. I would like to see Ortega.
Even though I think that Max won the last fight, he's 0-2 against the champ, so move on.
It's going to be interesting to see if Ortega gets the next shot. I think that'll be a fun matchup. I think it's a good matchup. I think he deserves it.
After putting a performance like that, who else you can give it to?
Yeah. Where does Zombie go from here? I don't know. Holloway?
Maybe.
Yeah.
That'd be a good fight.
Oh, wait, let me look at the division real quick. Was it featherweight?
145, yeah, featherweight. I mean, it's not a very stacked division.
No.
Frank Edgar moved out.
Edgar. So, Ortega is ranked number 2 currently. Max is still... This is UFC rankings. Max is still ranked number 1. Zabit, Yair, Korean Zombie are the top 5. Kelvin Cater is number 6. Josh Emmett number 7. Stevens 8. Arnold Allen number 9. And Yodik Youssef is number 10.
Damn, I forgot about Zaid and Yair. That'd be good. That's a great fight between those two guys.
Zabit and Ortega as the number 1 contender matchup. Or I'm sure Volkanovski wants a fight right away. It seems like.
Or maybe Yair and Max Holloway. Or Zabit Holloway.
Yeah, Holloway versus Yair or Zabit. I wouldn't mind seeing that.
That'd be sick. Zabit's so good, man.
Yeah.
I mean, for a long time, no one wanted to fight him.
You could do Max versus Yair and Zabit rematching Kelvin Cater.
Yeah, he was supposed to fight Zabit, remember?
Yeah.
And that fight didn't go through for whatever reason.
Or let's do Max, Zabit, Yair, Kelvin Cater. And then give Holloway Ortega the next title shot. So Volkanovski fights Ortega, Zabit, Holloway, fight for the next number 1 contender spot, and then Kelvin Cater and Yair fight for the next one after that, basically.
That's sick.
I like that matchup.
All those fights are good.
All those matchups are good.
Yeah.
I'd probably do Korean Zombie and Josh Emmett. I think Josh Emmett's kind of fucked up right now. I think even though he won his last fight, I think he kind of...
What about Aldo and Korean Zombie?
One of Aldo's, I think, moved up, no?
Oh, he did, huh? I totally forgot about that. Yeah, you're right. He moved up to 55.
He went to 55. So, 55.
Who's number 10?
In
featherweight.
Oh, Sadiq Youssef. Aldo's number 7 at 155. Aljamain's fighting Jan. Sanhagen. Probably going to get Frankie Edgar. Aldo, you could put Aldo and Pedro Munoz. Mm-hmm. I don't mind seeing that. Or Aldo Cody Garbrandt. But yeah.
I forgot about Cody too.
I say Ortega next title shot. It'll be a fresh matchup for Volkanovski to get excited for. Mm-hmm. And then, dude, any of those top 5, top 6 guys, just mix them up, and just top 7, even with Josh Emmett in there, just mix them all up.
I mean, they're all entertaining fights. So.
Those are all entertaining fights. Yeah. All right. So, and then other MMA news, Michael Chandler is over in Abu Dhabi as an alternate, just in case any of these guys, have to pull out for injury.
For the
Khabib and Gaethje, which is this weekend. So,
I don't like
he's there. He's there right now. I wouldn't, if he steps in, I would be bummed if I can't see Gaethje or Khabib fight.
Khabib just roll over him. Right?
Yeah.
Khabib beats him.
But honestly, if Chandler... It's just it would be a fun matchup to see him fight either one of them.
Yeah.
He's interested in fighting Makachev. Let me see where he's. Islam Makachev. Makachev. Yeah. As an option later on, but for me, I would hope that he holds out and fights a top contender. Islam is a big name, but not in the division really.
Yeah.
You have the PFL announcing their 2021 lineup. They're not really expected to come back until April. Once they come back in April, I believe they have several events lined up. It's taken them, I think, longer than expected to bounce back from this COVID thing because I know they paid a lot of their top fighters like a small like little stimulus check. They started sending them just to keep them afloat. But yeah, they're not ready to go until next year, which is it's got to hit them a little bit to take that much time off, basically an entire year. Bellator making some announcements here and there, but nothing crazy. Corrales versus Grits will co-headline 250. And that's about it as far as big news for
this week.
Yeah. Let's get to the card this weekend. It's a big card. I think the one that people have been waiting for the majority of the year.
Yeah, I agree.
Khabib versus Gaethje. This is 254, Yaz Island, Abu Dhabi. You have, let's see here. I mean, it's a top heavy card.
Very top heavy.
Very, very top heavy. You have on the main event for the prelim, it's Stefan Struve versus Tai Tuivasa, which is pretty entertaining. Sam Alvey versus Dang Da Un Jung, and Alex Oliveira versus Rachmaninoff. The top three for the prelims isn't bad. That's a pretty entertaining set of fights right there. But the main card, even you look at the main card, there's not a lot of big names.
No, they've been doing that a lot since.
But they've been entertaining fights, but not a lot of big names.
No name value, yeah.
Yeah, Magomed Ankalev versus Ian Kutilaba, which I think that's a rematch. Remember when I think it was Kutilaba was pretending like he was hurt, and then they stepped in and stopped the fight? That's the rematch for this one.
Okay.
Lauren Murphy versus Liliana Shakarov. Phil Hollows versus Jacob Malcone. Walt Harris is making a return against Volkov. Cannonier versus Robert Whitaker. And Khabib versus Justin Gaethje. Let's start with Harris and Volkov. Who do you have?
Harris.
Now, Harris is coming off a loss. Obviously, he had the tragic situation with his daughter.
Yeah.
The loss to Alistair Overeem.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's fighting Volkov. Volkov is coming off of a loss too, I believe, right?
Yeah, they both are.
Yeah. So this is a big fight for both of them to get back on the winning track. I think people are looking for Walt Harris to finally just get a win. I think Volkov is a guy to really help him do that. Not that I think he's beatable. Volkov is beatable, even though he's a well-rounded guy.
Yeah.
He's a good guy for the division. But Walt being big and athletic, I'm going to go with Walt. And I think hopefully he learns from his mistakes and progresses, because we would hate to see him not progress and to root for him throughout his whole troubles and for him to just fizzle out. Yeah. I just hate to see that.
Yeah.
Cannonier versus Robert Whitaker is a big fight. This is basically the number one contender fight for the middleweight division. And Adesanya is hoping that Cannonier wins because I think he wants a fresh matchup. I wouldn't mind seeing Cannonier win to fight Israel, but I like Robert Whitaker, and I hate to see Robert Whitaker lose.
Yeah, I love Robert Whitaker. I've been a fan of his since stuff, actually.
Yeah.
He's such a great fighter, super rounded. I think he's a better fighter out of the two as far as skills go.
Yeah.
But he does get hit a lot, so.
He does get hit a lot. He does have better head movement.
I can't bet against Robert Whitaker. I'm going to go Robert Whitaker.
Yeah.
I was going to go with Jared, man. But I can't go against Whitaker, man. I can't.
Yeah, Jared's one of those guys that just like he's cold, calculated, plots forward, and just has really pretty decent striking, wrestling.
But what happens when I think it goes to shit when he can't land those shots?
What happens when Whitaker is dancing around you popping shots, landing a head kick and a jab,
And mixes it up.
And you can't.
That's what I'm thinking that's going to happen. But as long as Whitaker can avoid those power shots, I think he'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rob Whitaker, final answer.
Yeah. I'm going Whitaker too.
Yeah.
I like Whitaker. I hate betting against that guy.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Even though I'd like to see Cannonier versus
That'd be a sick fight.
Israel to see how that looks.
Yeah.
But, Khabib versus Gaethje for the lightweight title. This is a unification bout. Gaethje has interim.
I'll have to go Gaethje.
You can go Gaethje? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's an underdog right now. I think he's plus 235, something like that.
Just because I think his MMA wrestling is so good.
It's gonna be interesting, man. I can't wait to see this fight.
But what's gonna happen I know at some point Khabib doesn't take him down, but wrestling a guy like Gaethje is not an easy task.
Yeah, and is Khabib gonna want to stand with Gaethje at all? Is he just gonna
Because Khabib's stand up he's I'm curious to see them cover up.
I'm curious to see them stand next to each other, see how the size difference is.
But then I go to Khabib because it's how dominant he is with his wrestling. But then he hasn't fought a guy with this kind of wrestling.
Yeah,
in Gaethje.
Yeah,
Gaethje's MMA wrestling is just so good.
Do you think he goes for the takedown right away?
Yeah,
I think so. I think he takes him down eventually, if not right away.
I see him going for a double leg or a takedown and then just getting hit with something bad and getting rocked. Maybe not stopped, but rocked, where it makes him think twice.
But his division, they're going to have to, their fight's going to have to be at 155 if they want to fight for his title next. Basically what he's saying. So, this one's a tough one. I could see it, being a stand-up fight, but I also see Khabib just going straight for the legs, and then I think he eventually takes down Gaethje, if not sooner in the fight or later in the fight. It's going to happen. I see Gaethje just being more defensive and then trying to get the takedowns, and I don't know. I mean, he might make Gaethje look like he might take him down right away, take his back, and then there you go.
And you're right. He might just be on top of him and just suffocate him with his wrestling.
Yeah, and then we just see the better wrestler.
Yeah,
it's
that intrigue of what's gonna happen when he fight.
Yeah,
when we try to take down a guy like Gaethje.
Yeah,
that's where my intrigue's at.
Yeah,
and it's just what if.
The what ifs. I don't know. It's hard to bet against a guy like Khabib. I hope. I'm not saying I hope he loses, but I want to see Gaethje put on a performance, and I would love to see him, beat Khabib. Yeah. I would like to see a guy like him, and to achieve that. So I hope he does win, but I'm gonna probably go with Khabib and say that most likely he'll probably does.
Yeah, it's a 50-50 fight pick with this fight.
It is. At least as on paper right now, we're thinking it's a 50-50, but
who knows?
Who knows
with a live fight like that?
Yeah.
It's be damn entertaining though.
Yep. All right, that's our show. Thank you guys for watching, listening. Like, share, subscribe, all that.
And remember, there's 2 weeks away from election day, so go out there and vote, you guys.
Yeah.
Really important.
Yeah, it's really only 2 weeks away. You have this fight, and then you have Anderson and Hall, and then you have the election. So yeah, go out and vote.
And with that,
enjoy
the fights.